What's up, Virgo? Okay, so we're talking value systems. We're talking the month of November 2021. This month is where you basically activate the restructuring of the infrastructure of your understanding of value systems. And it starts with knowing that you're no longer, nothing is worth your happiness in the plain and short of it. And what we tend to do, whether it's in relationships or at work, or is we outsource our happiness for other people's lack of logic and reason in regards to our kind of like preconceived rules and notions of how things should be. So we're outsourcing the possible or the potential happiness of now for how things should be in the made manifest realm of space and time, which is, it's not worth it. The exchange rate is just not there. You're losing money, you're losing value, you're devaluing yourself, you're devaluing your life experience by being miserable because of any external factors or forces. So that's where real value begins. You could have $1 million, you could have a mansion, you could have a new Ferrari or Lamborghini, but if you're just a miserable cuck, if you're just a miserable egotistical shithead, or if you're just tuning into those shithead energies, then it's like, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. There's a way of enjoying yourself. There's a way of having fun. There's a way of being tapped into the exciting and the amazing and not being a piece of shit. Basically, Virgo is what we're talking about. So that's what we're working on. That's what our focus is. We're no longer self-sabotaging. We're slowing our roll. We're doing the work. We're having fun while we're doing it. And we're just enjoying ourselves. Okay, so let's see what wants to come out, Virgo, for you for the rest of the month of November 2021. Talking about money, value systems, all that good stuff. Okay, King of Pentacles in the upright. This is stability of value. Could be made manifest in, finances, resources, money, things of that nature. But the key is to remain objective with the High Priestess in the reverse. Okay, maintain in tune with that meditation, with that spiritual practice, things of that nature. Okay. Five of Cups in the reverse is probably having to go at things alone emotionally. Okay, practicing and acting that Nine of Cups in the upright, emotional independence. Nine in the upright of the Pentacles is financial independence. So you might have to strike at it alone, prioritize yourself, take care of yourself, look at the bigger picture, and cut out those elements which are really throwing you off of your game, because that's not going anywhere and you're not going to be able to reroute it or change it. So you might as well focus on your day in, day out tasks and, have a good attitude about it and really know that it's worth it. It's not just the craftsmanship and the quality of work, but it's really tuning into the happiness and the zen of being here now while you're doing it. So when we're talking about value systems, when we're talking about prioritizing and valuing our own happiness, it's not with a painted smile on our face. It's not so everybody else knows it. It's just really kind of enacting and practicing the presence. When we say that we don't want to devalue our happiness for misunderstandings or arguments or ego or pettiness, it's not that we're just trading our happiness. It's really we're trading our peace of mind. Our happiness is a metaphor for presence. Okay, you don't want to basically exchange your presence for a state that is an old, outdated way of being, which is like, being angry, being conniving, being envious. Those are all low vibrational states that we no longer have to adhere to. Now, there's not going to be perfection, but only a person needs perfection. So if you can stay, in the flow of things, you don't have to get sidetracked. You don't have to hit those potholes or those speed bumps, which are going to trigger your reactions. You could really, truly kind of maintain a level of awareness that nothing is worth your peace. thing is that we've been told our whole lives that, things are worth our peace or our state of being, when it's really not. And that's what the Page of Cups is in the reverse. This is being in tune to that spirituality, to that understanding, to that happiness. Okay, which transcends, again, time, money, space, material goods, relationships, because all of those are offshoots within yourself. If you're constantly pushing aside that relationship with yourself, that inner stillness, that inner peace, for some external understanding, then it's never going to be complete or satisfied or finished, because you're always going to be having to tend to all the juggling pieces outside of yourself. Better to just tend to within yourself. Have yourself straight, have yourself good, and know that nothing's worth it. Whether someone's being kind of emotionally, an emotional terrorist, it feels like they have an emotional gun to your head, or they're going to threaten you, or they're going to, threaten to move, or they're going to throw a tantrum, or none of that is worth your happiness. Now, being there for someone and soothing someone and being a good person and being affectionate and showing love, that's not mutually exclusive from your own happiness. Okay, you could still do that out of the kindness of your heart, but where we get caught up in our traps is if you expect the same from that person and that person's not playing by your rules. So that's something to be mindful of and aware of as well. Okay, a lot of the times we overextend ourselves to kind of heal and quell and soothe others, but then they don't know how to do that in turn with you. And so a lot of the times the lack of emotional happiness or stability, which is where all your abundance is, comes from you projecting your playbook onto them. So better to not do that, better to not expect anything emotionally out of anybody, but rather kind of maintain your own level of happiness and content to the best of your ability. Okay, obviously that's probably going to lead to other things, but where we stand now, what we're talking about is knowing that nothing is worth kind of you being in your zone, you being in your flow state, you being good on your own 2 feet, financially and emotionally. And the reason why we're talking heavily so much about emotions is because it's intrinsically tied with your being able to generate income, essentially. If you want to do things not only just for the sake of doing them, because you can make $100,000 a year but be a miserable prick that lowers the frequency of the planet. You want to not only do what you do, but you want to do it in the way that you do it, which is in a good way with a good energy and a good spirit. Again, not for anyone else, but for yourself, because that's your standard. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about values and emotional systems and all that stuff. Virgo, a lot of deep, heavy stuff. You're probably not going to understand all of it, but if you want to talk more about value systems and outsourcing happiness and no longer adhering to that exchange rate where you're losing money, then obviously feel free to reach out for a one-on-one reading. We could just shoot the shit and talk as well. Everything's $2 a minute. Or if you want to establish a relationship, real value, hit me up on the DM and, we can talk and message and all that good stuff, Virgo. So appreciate you for watching part 2 on the Patreon. Love you guys. Can't do this without you. Again, feel free to like, share, follow here and across all of the social media platforms and reach out. Holler at your boy. On to Libra. Peace.